Genesis chapter 8 in our study of comparing God from the Old Testament to the way Jesus came to portray God in the New Testament. Genesis chapter 8 verse 1. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped. And the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. Verse 4. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. God hadn't forgotten Noah and all that he had worked so hard to save. If it hadn't been for his continuing care and protection throughout the flood, the ark would likely not have survived. God did not abandon those he saved. Although the process took a long time, it did eventually end. During this time, the tectonic plates were moving against each other violently, and the water-softened crust was being shoved upwards in places. As this happened, the waters from the flood moved to the lower regions, and the tops of the mountains were seen, as it says in verse 5. Verse 6. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went to and fro, until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark. For the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf, plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another seven days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again to him any more. When the storm stopped, Noah and the family must have been anxious to leave and see what was going on. But it was many more days before land was available and dry enough to do anything with. Birds could be released through the window and had the ability to return to the ark, and Noah used these to get some kind of indication of what was going on outside the ark. As the waters subsided, God provided a safe place for the ark to rest, and in the meantime gave Noah and his family patience to wait till the right time to leave the ark. Today we should also remember that God does everything in the right time. Sometimes we just need to be patient and wait to see where he will lead. Verse 13. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kind, went forth out of the ark. Time for a fresh start, hopefully, leaving all the evil and violence behind. Sadly, much, if not all, of that evil and violence has since returned to our earth, and many of the species so carefully preserved in the ark have since been hunted to extinction, or their habitat destroyed by us as humans, who were given the responsibility of caring for God's creatures. Verse 20. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savour. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living, as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. It broke God's heart to have to let go of his creation, and he promised he would not do it again as long as the earth continued. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.